Now broadcasting on your favorite podcast platform, it's the Maverick Do It Different podcast with your host, Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire. When you want to step up and dare to be different, when you will dare to be great and live up to your fullest potential, when you are ready to dare to be a maverick and live the life of your dreams, filled with abundance, passion, and joy, then it's time to listen to me, Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire, and the Maverick Do It Different podcast. And welcome to this edition of the Mavericks Do It Different podcast. It's so exciting to be here. And I am with some special friends because, well, they're not only have people that I've done business with over the years, and we've done engagements in different levels, strategic partnerships. We've also now are co-authors in a book together. How exciting. It is one of our great books, Network Marketing 2.0 Revealed, is now in stores everywhere, and you want to go grab it, and there's going to be a link right here for you to buy your copy. And I want to introduce you to my co-author in this book and co-authors here, and it's so exciting. They are successful serial entrepreneurs, which, man, that doesn't even begin to describe it. For decades, identifying business trends onward and onward. They have a history of identifying the trends early. They are the first mover advantage is what they call it, and it absolutely is the ones who lead the band, and they have in multiple different industries. With a commitment to helping others, they've created teams of over 700,000, a number that I can't even put my head around, of numbers of people that they've worked with in 51 countries, helping 48 people specifically earn over $1 million through duplication and multiplication. And we know what that's all about in network marketing. Both graduates at Temple University in traditional business. 5 pharmacies is where they got started. Medical surgical supply business with specialty in pediatrics. They built those businesses from zero to multi-million dollars, so they know how to really build up a business from scratch and really apply those business technology and that business techniques. And they did that from zero to multi-million in over 3 years, just 3 years. Really key. Their primary passion is to help the learning curve and really shorten the learning curve for all of you, all those that are willing and coachable to start and live a 5-star lifestyle, which is what they're all about. Please welcome Sandi and Ed Cohen to our platform here. Guys, it's absolute pleasure. And, you know, you've got a unique story, a unique background. We're the Mavericks here. We do it different. Tell us about your different story. How did you get here?
Go ahead, Cindy.
He's passing the baton.
That's it very well.
Yeah, you know, from a very young age, I think we both grew up with parents that were entrepreneurs that set the example. And even though they worked hard, they gave us an amazing childhood growing up with the belief that you can really be and do anything that you want. And met Ed when I was so young.
Very young.
Yeah. And in fact, we're celebrating.
Well, say what it was. It's 15. She was 15 years old at the time.
Do we have time to tell the quick story?
I was
please?
17. No.
Yeah, I know.
I was 17. She was 15. I just entered college. She was still in high school.
You know, Deborah and I have a similar story and a similar background. Now we've known each other since way back when, childhood almost, and it's just amazing to watch, and it's so great to see loving couples together. And it's
figured out the secret to a long marriage. In fact, we're having a big anniversary September 3rd. I'm not even going to say how many years because it sounds impossible.
It's 60 years
to each other. But Paul, we got married when I was 2 years old and he was 4 years old. So if you're going to do the math, you know, how is that possible? And Ed's still my best friend. And if the audience wants to know the secret of a long relationship, tell them your secret.
2 words. Yes, dear. And then You can basically do what you want. You get yourself off the hook with the yes, dear, and then everything works out.
But, you know,
and we're getting off path, but I got to tell you, one of the most valuable pieces that I know you guys share with the world, and that I do too with my wife, is the love and passion, and how the honor that you have for each other. And that is what resonates with everybody that know you, that you honor and respect one another. And that's really the key to having long relationships, no matter whether it's your significant other or others, that honor and respect. And that's so obvious with the two of you.
So get back to your question. Sorry for digressing. We were extremely successful in our traditional businesses, but literally married to it 8 days a week, 30 hours a day. Even though it afforded us the dream lifestyle, the 10,000 square foot home, a Rolls Royce, a stretch limo, an English houseman, a cook from Grand Cayman, Paul, I never thought it would go away. And in 1986, we sold the businesses to a group of private investors who defaulted and did not pay us. And we ended up in an 8-year nightmare, multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And, you know, it was interesting. We had the best litigator in Philadelphia, and when we met in his war room, which was the lower level of his offices with the partners and paralegals to develop strategy. And he said, "You sure you want to do this, Sandy? It could cost you your health, your marriage, and even if you win, there's no guarantee you're going to get paid." And then he said these magic words. No one ever said the law was fair. I couldn't believe this was coming from the mouth of an attorney that we were paying big bucks to. But we pursued because I only felt that it was right that we be vindicated and justified. 8 years later, we finally got our day in court. Never missed an episode of LA Law. I watched them over and over, so I think I'm an attorney. So if anybody wants cheap legal advice, I'm probably pretty good at it.
Very cheap. Yes.
Yeah, very cheap. But we went as far as picking a jury for 2 days, and then the judge stood up and threw a bunch of books on the floor and said, "Enough, I've had enough. We're not going to have an expensive, long jury trial that they'll never understand. We're going to pierce the corporate veil." Now, they went out of business 7 months after the litigation started. So there was no business for almost 8 years. And he forced a settlement, but it was so small, the only winners were the attorneys. So we were dead right, dead broke, and $450,000 in debt. It was like, how do we get out of this? How is it even possible? And if anyone's ever experienced a downward spiral, we all know it gets worse before it gets better. And it did. But anyway, that's how I re-entered network marketing. Because somebody said to me, if I was willing to help other people, we might get our life back. And I had to do it sneaky, because I swore to Ed, I promised I'd never do it again, because many years before I convinced him to buy $8,000 worth of water filters that we put in the 5 pharmacies that we couldn't sell. He could call Goodwill to take them away, and smoke was coming out of his ears. He was so angry, and he said, "Don't you ever mention network marketing again. It does not work." But what was I going to do? I sure as heck couldn't go back to teaching school, right? And now Ed's working as a pharmacist for other people. And it broke my heart every day to see him put on his pharmacy uniform, the black slacks, the white shirt with the tie. Yeah, 30 pair of black slacks,
Just
30
away.
shirts, all the ties. Of course, we were able to give them all away through the blessing of learning what the book is called 2.0, giving people a head start on what they need to know and do to build the life of their dreams. Because we were not put on this earth to just work and pay bills. We were put on this earth to live a life of joy, of abundance, of prosperity. And it drives me crazy when people don't understand the power of network marketing. Amazing, they don't say that being a real estate broker or a real estate agent or a insurance broker or an insurance agent is something you wouldn't want to do. When in fact, if you go to the National Association of Realtors website, guess how many people are actually successful in real estate? The numbers are worse than in network marketing.
5%.
It's only 5%.
And so it's definitely a industry that needs revamping. It needs to tell a new story, because the story has been, oh my gosh, not that thing. And so much has changed. The world has spun in entirely different direction these days. And it's up to us as entrepreneurs to really beat a new band, and tread a new path for everybody. And that's so much of what you've done. You've been doing that for decades already, in leading so many hundreds of thousands of people down this journey. What is it? What do you think is the biggest secret? Like you told your story, and you've obviously created success here and in here and in here, and yet other people had the same opportunities to create success. What makes you guys different?
The other people don't do what's necessary. That's basically what the difference is. We do what's necessary.
Even when we don't feel like doing it.
Yes.
Ooh. Hold on. It's not all fun and games.
And there are days like that when Sandi she quits 3 times a week. And then slaps herself in the face and says, what am I doing? But yes.
In addition to that, Paul, I think that I really believed it was possible to have success. I really believed it in my core. And I would look at people who couldn't walk and chew gum, make gangster money, and say, what are they doing? What are they saying that I'm missing? And I became the forever student, connecting with people like you, for goodness sakes, who are committed to empowering other people to find their magic. Because we all have that magic. We just have to believe it's there and then do the work connected to it.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's the belief. And it's one of the things that what you're expressing is you have that undying belief, no matter what the facts tell us in the world, that people are like, no, it's not going to work. Look. And you just keep moving forward and proving them wrong.
Now, in addition to that, Paul, we have a dear friend, probably 26, 27 years. His name is Sandy Botkin. He's a tax attorney. And it's amazing that people that work a job, which is the majority of people, if they still have a job, based on the last 15 or 16 months of the science fiction movie the world has been living in, that we're hopefully coming out of. But what Sandi says is, and I quote, you have to be brain dead not to have a home-based part-time business so that you can keep more money, just like the rich and famous. Because the law does not say you have to be profitable. It says you have to work at your part-time business 7 to 10 hours a week. That's it. And then you have the same tax advantages of, a Warren Buffett, a Paul Finck, anybody else that is extremely successful.
Yeah, it's the old adage, do what they do, not what they say. Watch what they're doing and follow that rule book, because it's different than what the majority of people are the rule book that most people follow. And it's such a testament to entrepreneurship, serial entrepreneurship, and network marketing, which is one of the easiest industries to tap into, to be able to have a side business and to create just a whole different lifestyle and different world around that industry.
And without mortgaging the house on the firstborn to do it.
Without mortgaging the house or the firstborn. Well, sometimes they want the firstborn to be mortgaged.
Sometimes so you want to give it away, the firstborn.
A little later when they grow up.
So So we're in the book. We've got the book that's on the shelves now, Network Marketing 2.0 Revealed. It's how everyday marketers are reshaping the industry for a new generation, which is so valuable in what we were writing about. In your chapter and what you wrote about, what would be a takeaway that you would love the reader to grab hold of?
I think more than anything is connect with the people who you admire, like your community, obviously, because it's a community where everybody works together to collaborate, and never give up on your dreams. I mean, that to me is critical, and the dreams should be big. I mean, really, really big. And for me, it's about, I remember so many years ago when we were, I mean, it was an 8-year nightmare. It was an 8-year nightmare. And I attended an event where I can't remember even who the speaker was, but he had us pull out a legal pad, a sheet of paper. And he says, I'm starting the stopwatch. You have 4 minutes to write everything down that you've ever dreamed that you've wanted. Just write it down as fast as you can. And we did that. And then we took those pieces of paper and put it in a drawer. Just put it in a drawer. And you pulled out that piece of paper how many years later? A year or two?
A little bit more than a year or two, but we actually did
everything on that list. On that list.
And it was about 20, 25 things at that time.
I mean, huge, hairy things. So I think what people have to realize is you really can have what you want. And if you attach that to emotion and feeling and imagination, almost like you're the director of your own movie. And I did that once. I remember we were on a flight and I just learned how to use a computer, and I had a laptop, and I actually typed up my life, what it looked like 3 years from that day.
I just wrote one.
And he just wrote a new one, an updated one, because we're going through a transition, a new chapter in our life, to even bigger and better things, because technology is allowing us to reach people literally. I mean, when we built that team of 700,000 people, some of the people watching this are probably not old enough to even remember Fax on Demand, where the ink disappeared after about a week. That's how we did that. Can you imagine what people can do today?
Photographic paper.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Disappeared.
So just know it's possible. Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing. I talked to my children about the technology and what business was. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, realize that Facebook's 18 years old? But like it's crazy to think all of social media wasn't in existence in just a few short years ago. And now it's the way, right? And so much of these components, I mean, I used to actually have to drive neighborhoods for real estate. This is such a shift. And so now, and one of the great, and I will say one of the testaments to your success is that you constantly move forward. You actually embrace technology. You know it to the back of your hand. You use every aspect, and you teach me about technology on things that are going on right now. And it's so amazing to that perpetual student mentality that you talked about is what you live.
Yeah, we have an abbreviation for that. It's called CANI, CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. Because if you're not committed to that, how can you grow, and how can you help your team grow and multiply? And in relation to technology, if anyone's old enough, we are, to remember Walkman and the audio cassette tapes. I'm going back maybe 25, 26 years ago, maybe longer than that. And I remember listening to this audio where the gentleman said, if you do not embrace technology, those who do will leave you in the dust. And I didn't even know what it took. I knew Ed's pharmacies were automated with these big black machines called DOS. And that's what I thought I had to learn. Yeah. Oh my, have we come a long way since those days of the audio cassette tapes.
I had a fax machine and a dot matrix printer in my office, and I was the only entrepreneur that had that at the time. I was 1985, 86. It was really on, and everyone was like, "What?" Yeah. So the technology, cutting edge, absolutely staying constantly learning, constantly growing, and having a firm belief in what's next. I love your story about the dream list because I had the same experience. So now you're writing new dream lists, which leads to a great question. What's next?
That's a good question, and we're in the major stress of a move. So Ed, God bless him. I think he's up to 160 boxes right now, and we're doing an estate sale. The people were here yesterday setting everything up. So what's next? The next chapter is impact. How much more can we influence and impact people around the world that wherever they are now, they want to be in a better place. And it doesn't matter what that is individually, it's where do they want to be, not in the next 60 seconds or 6 months, but over a realistic next 2 to 4 years. Think about a profession of network marketing that allows people to accomplish things that people working the 40-40 plan don't ever get, which is, working 40 to 50 hours a week for 40, 50 years. And then where are these people? They're greeters at Walmart, which is so sad. For those of you who want a better way, network marketing is a better way, but you've got to do your homework. You've got to do your research. You've got to check out who are the owners, what are their history. It's not about your next door neighbor telling you about a product or a service that you're so excited about, and that could be true. But if you're looking for a business, who are you partnering with? Who is going to make the difference in shortcutting your learning curve? Because trust me, for us, we've made more mistakes than most people could even think about. So we won't let our friends and our partners make mistakes because we've been there. And they're costly, and you can never make up the time you've lost. Yesterday is gone. What is it, Lion King? He hits him on the head and says, the past is the past. It's in the past. Yeah. So we move forward, and you decide where you want to go, and where do you want to be, and who do you want to be surrounded with. And when you surround with the Maverick community, you're with people who are committed to helping anyone who has that dream and belief to get to the next step, because that next step is different for each and every person.
Yeah, it's such great. We're on this journey together, and in that journey, we create this impact, as you were saying, and our goal is aligned, which is why we create strategic partnerships all the time. Our goals are aligned in that we're looking to create that just amazing world with a community that we can really continue to grow and develop with and live a life with that is so powerful. Yeah. What's next is just impacting. So how many people are we looking to impact? How much of an impact?
As many as humanly possible who reach out and want to connect, and we collaborate together to determine where we're going. And we've become serial entrepreneurs again out of necessity, because we've all experienced the science fiction movie. What is it, 16 months now, maybe 17 months now?
Right,
but the big question is, what's the next crisis? And are you going to be prepared for it? Because throughout history, there is always going to be a crisis. And I think for many people, this one that affected the world has really helped people to look differently on the tomorrows that are to come. What do they really want it to look like? And the truth is, having an additional stream of income, even if you have a job or a profession that you absolutely love, if you're open to additional streams of income, why not?
Yes, you want that additional stream. You want that that dream of reaching for something greater. You want to realize that you are as you were talking about, you're the actor in your own movie. You are writing the script as well. And to what kind of movie do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a drama, or do you want to live in a love story? Do you want to live in a musical where everybody's doing great? This is, or you're living in a comedy. That's a whole nother story. So we get to write it, and it's so great to be with people that know how to write it and have been through the test of time to say, yeah, this is the story, and we keep writing our next journey. And so excited to see what's next for you guys.
And we're excited to be a part of your community, because that's going to be a big part of where we're going as well.
It's only the beginning. It is only the beginning. We are just poised for, now that we're open and the life is coming back, the blood's flowing again throughout the world. We are very excited to create that magic. We've got a lightning round for you, some quick questions. What's a book that you'd recommend for our listeners?
Do you write one book?
Well, it's always Think and Go Rich for everybody. I mean, that's the Bible of. So that would be the one.
For me,
for you,
I think, as important as that book is, and obviously since 1936 or 1937 when it was published, I think the book that had the biggest impact for us was Esther and Jerry Hicks. Ask and it is given. And it's even on our personal website. That book changed our life 30 years ago. And we read every chapter together and then implemented the activities in each of those chapters. And it was like magic. It was, we still implement all of those teachings with feeling and emotion today. And one of the tests was in her chapter about manifesting. So we have this little game we play even with our grandchildren. We call it the parking genie, because I've taught the kids they can have anything they want. And even on a holiday weekend, if we're going somewhere and the parking lot is jammed, there's no parking spaces, we say, parking genie
always finds us a space.
Right up front. And that is a true indicator that you get what you think about with emotion. And that was just one of the exercises in Ask and It Is Given.
Oh my gosh, manifestation. We could spend hours talking about manifestation. Great example too. Love that. We've had the same experiences. Your favorite movie?
For me, it's When Harry Met Sally.
I was going to say that.
Wait. So it's not, take aside the scene where she's eating her salad. Yeah.
That's one of the scenes.
Is that why you like the movie?
Well, no, that's part of it. The last scene when they meet on New Year's Eve brings me to tears every time I see it. And I've seen it, I don't know how many times. It's a fabulous movie. So pick another one.
Oh my gosh. Pick another one. Favorite movie. What's the one with the cheesecake? With Charles Grodin.
Charles Grodin. God. The one that they did a retake on.
The retake was no good. It was the original Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak Kid.
Funny Penny. Yeah.
The original one, not the one with.
It was the original. Years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Charles
A while back.
Yeah.
Great picture.
Funny.
Also.
Yeah. Love them both, actually. Great picks. What's your favorite singer or band? Ed.
I listen to Seriously Sinatra on Sirius XM constantly when I'm in the car. So whoever's singing, Sinatra, there's a lot of Sinatra on there, but there's other.
And we've seen him in person as well.
Style.
But while he was still alive.
Not recently.
How about you, Danny?
For me, Andrea Bocelli.
Oh.
Andrea Bocelli.
Is that opera?
No, not really.
He's popular. He sings some opera. Yes, he was an opera singer.
He's actually a blind performer from Italy. And my first exposure to Andrea was when we were looking to build a home and we looked in Lake Las Vegas when we were $500,000 in debt. And they were having a concert on the lake with Andrea Bocelli. And all I could imagine and feel was living here among the rich and famous. And he said, how in the world are we going to do that? I said, I don't know the how, but someday we're going to build a home here in Lake Las Vegas. And we did that.
And now we're selling it.
And now we're selling it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing the journeys that we have all gone on and the stories to tell. And the real story is that we continue to believe. And serial entrepreneurs and true optimists and true success stories are the ones that continue to look to the future, continue to tell their story, and continue to write it every single day. And you guys are a testament to that on everything you do. God bless.
Thank you.
We've got listeners now all over the country and all over the world right now listening to this podcast. Give me some final words of wisdom to share with them.
I guess the biggest words of wisdom, never give up on your dreams because they are possible if you connect and know what you want. And it's critical to put it in writing. I used to think I would type it on a computer. There's something about putting pen to paper, ink it, that will create exactly what you want. So just know what you want, connect with the right people, and never, ever stop dreaming. Feeling it with emotion, because you are not placed on this earth to just work and pay bills. One word that I walked away with from a Brendan Bouchard event, we had to pick 3 words. 3 days it took me to finally find my one big word, joy. That encompasses everything. Wake up in the morning with a feeling of joy every day.
Everything else is that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Sandi and Ed Cohen, you want to reach out to them. You want to find out you want to connect with them to find out all that they're involved in. They have unending streams of possibility for you and opportunity for you. Reach out to them. All their contact information will be right here. You'll be able to reach out to them. You'll also be able to buy a copy of the book, which is available right here as well, because we want all of you to be really part of this new generation of network marketers, a new generation pathway of success and amazement. So go buy Network Marketing 2.0 Revealed, and it's available everywhere. Looking forward to that as well. Sandi, Ed, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
For all of you, this is Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire. This is this edition and this episode of Mavericks Do It Different podcast. This is where we dare to do it different. Talk to you all real soon. Take care now. Thanks for listening to Paul Finck. That's me, the Maverick Millionaire, and the Maverick Do It Different podcast. You can listen to us anytime, 24/7 on your podcast listening platform of choice. Introduce us to your friends, give us 5-star rating and subscribe, and share us across all your social media platforms to anyone that could really utilize this message right now. Till next time, everyone.